Well, it feels good to finally say these words again. Sacred Heart Hockey is back. This past weekend, Sacred Heart split the weekend series between the Holy Cross Crusaders. They won on Friday by a score of 2-1, and they fell on Sunday with a score of 6-3. Our guest today is Marcel Godbout, who scored 2 goals this weekend, 1 in each game. Marcel, welcome. How are you?
Not too bad. Thanks for having me, guys.
I wanted to start things off with your first goal of the season, which started off, SHU Hockey's victory on Friday. Just walk us through your goal.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to get a power play. Tucky made a nice play down to Steeler, and he just found me on the backside, and I kind of just let it go and hit a spot and went in.
Going back to Braden Tuck, you mentioned who got the assist on that. Braden Tuck is coming off a year last year where he won Atlantic Hockey Rookie of the Year and is most notably known for his playmaking ability and had over 20-plus assists last year. How big of a difference is that playing with a guy like that?
I mean, Tucky's a great player. Obviously, like you said, he had, what did he have, 20-some assists last year? Great playmaking guy. He's got a lot of skill, so kind of just makes it easy for you. Just got to find open ice, and he'll get you the puck.
So after that first goal you scored this weekend, when you got back to the bench afterwards, was there kind of like a sigh of relief, like, oh, it feels good to be back?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just being able to play again, obviously we've gone through a lot with just practicing and not being able to practice and shutdowns and everything. So getting out there and being able to compete against someone other than ourselves was nice to do.
Marcel, you guys were going up against a team like Holy Cross, who in the past has had a lot of, success in the games, and they've played, more games than Sacred Heart has. Was that noticeable in their game? Were they just a bit faster than you guys all weekend?
I mean, I think the first game, everyone was kind of just trying to get their feet settled in. Obviously we haven't played in, I don't know, what is it now, almost 8 months, 6 months, something like that. So, I mean, I think it was just everyone was trying to get ready. It's a little bit different. Obviously, like I said, we've just been practicing, competing against each other. So, I mean, obviously they had a couple more games played, but I don't think it made too much of a difference.
As this weekend was coming up, as you're waiting, knowing it's finally game day coming up soon, what were you most excited about? Was it just getting back on the ice, being with the boys again, in a game environment? What was it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, again, going back to the point, we've all been battling against each other for how long now. It was nice to be able to work together and battle against a different group and work towards the same goal.
I want to go back to last year when the season came to an abrupt end. What was your relationship like with the seniors that left and, some of the players that have transferred, like Matt Tungnut, Jordan Kaplan, and the graduates like Bavaro, Lee, McElmurray, and Cotton? What was your relationship like with those guys?
I had a close relationship with pretty much all of those guys. I mean, our team last year was pretty close, so to see our season end that way, especially for the guys that was their last time playing college hockey, that was tough. I mean, I think last year we earned a better outcome, but just things didn't work out the way that we wanted them to.
Do you remember your last conversation with, some of the seniors? Obviously, the game was canceled right as you guys were getting on the ice for the morning skate, or you guys were at Webster Bank Arena. Was there some type of goodbye with the seniors?
I actually was coming off the ice when I found out. We had a team meeting, and I didn't even know. I walked into the room, and everyone was, crying, upset. I didn't even know what was happening, so I was kind of just shocked by everything. But no, I mean, I definitely said my goodbyes to those guys, but I still am in touch with all those guys. So,
you now being a senior this year, how have you really stepped into a leadership position with some of the younger guys?
I mean, I've been a captain on multiple teams before. Obviously, I don't have a letter here, but just having that experience, being an older guy, I mean, try and help out the best that I can. Obviously, we have great leaders in John Stone, Luco, and Batesy, and we have a great leadership core around them as well, even the guys that aren't wearing letters. So it's pretty easy on us older guys, just do what we can to help out.
Moving into this season with the COVID pandemic still in, full surge, what was the message that the coaches gave you guys to kind of just keep your bodies in shape and be ready to go?
I mean, we kind of all just have been going with whatever we've been told. We don't really know exactly what was going to happen. We knew at some point there's a possibility of us being shut down, so we've had to deal with that. I mean, just basically keep grinding the best we can. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be things that aren't in our control, so just got to do what we can on our side of it.
How difficult is it to practice under these circumstances where, let's say, 8 guys on the team get COVID-19? How do you practice? Is there a routine that you need to follow in practice in order to keep up with the way that you go?
I mean, yeah, it's like you said, dude, there's times where there's multiple guys who aren't at practice, so our numbers are light. I think the coaches do a good job of, realizing that, and obviously we wouldn't have, drills where you're taking too mmany reps on, like 3-on-2s or something like that if we don't have the numbers for it. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult, and like I said, it's just we got to do whatever we can and make sure we're ready to go when it's game time.
And it was game time this weekend, finally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when was there a point where you finally realized it kind of hit you we're back? Was it when you got out of bed on game day? When you hit the ice for warm-ups? When was it?
It's actually kind of funny. We were all when we were packing the bus and stuff, we're like, man, this doesn't even feel real. It won't feel real until we actually get to play, just because of everything we've been through. So yeah, I would say probably when you get out there, start warming up for the game off the ice, even you're like, all right, we're here, so let's get ready to go.
What's the game day routine for Marcel Godbout? What do you do to prepare for a game? And when you get to the rink, is there a specific thing that you like to do? Superstitions, any of that?
Normal game day when we play at 7, so I'll just do one of those. Normally I'll get to the rink around 4:30. I always get there, change into my gitch and tape my sticks. That's the first thing I do. I'm a big soccer guy, so I normally get a lot of touches in. Other than that, I mean, I get dressed the same way every day. There's little things like over the weekend I would do same thing, I don't know, just little stuff, I guess.
What goes last for you, the jersey or the skates?
Oh, jersey. But I'm skates before pants guy.
Okay.
Okay. See, I don't relate to that one.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
But take us back to quarantine when the season was on hold, or even before that during the summer, after an unfortunate abrupt end to last year's season. What did you do to stay busy during quarantine? Were you grinding? Were you just stick handling whenever you could? And did you have any guilty pleasures as well?
I golfed a lot, if you want to call that one. But I mean, in Michigan it was tough because the rinks and everything kind of shut down when it all started. So I mean, I was basically just in my garage working out, and I got a super deker. It's like a little stick handling board, so I was using that for a little bit. But other than that, I mean, like I said, everything was shut down, so it was hard to even go do anything. You couldn't go to the gyms, you couldn't go to the rink. So, I mean, golf courses were open, though, so I got out there.
If you can remember, because I know it was so long ago, can you describe the recruiting process, then ultimately how you ended up at Sacred Heart?
Yeah, I played in Chicago with John Stone and Ruslan Rakhmatov, he was here before. So I kind of found out about Sacred Heart through those two because they were both already committed here. And then they came and saw me play at the, what's it called? It's like the preseason tournament for the USHL that we were in Pittsburgh. And then I was in Madison when I kind of decided that I was going to commit here.
What stood out to you the most? Sorry, Jack. What stood out to you the most about Sacred Heart? Was there a deciding factor? Anything that the coaches said to you, what the team looked like, or just the school in general?
I mean, all of it was pretty good to me. I came on a visit here right before the school year started that year that I committed, and just seemed like a good fit for me. I thought I could, come in and play and help our team win games.
So Michigan's obviously a big hockey state. My dad is from Michigan as well, and he got me skating pretty much as soon as I could start walking. When did you first strap on the skates? Were you at a really young age like that?
Yeah, I want to say I was 2 years old. I know my grandpa used to take me out roller skating and stuff like that, but I think I want to say I got on the ice when I was 3. Would be my first time.
Are you a Red Wings fan, being from the Michigan area?
I wouldn't say I'm a Red Wings fan, but if they're in the playoffs, if any Detroit team's in the playoffs, I'm always rooting for them to win, obviously. But I don't know. The guys kind of always chirp me because I don't really have a favorite hockey team. I'm more of a fan of the game, I guess you could call it.
I'm still the only Red Wings fan at Sacred Heart University. It's
Who
a
do
hard
you
life.
What professional hockey player do you think that you grew up idolizing? And do you style your game around any specific NHLer?
Ovi was always my favorite player. I mean, I wouldn't say my game is like his. I mean, I would like to think I could try and get there one day, but it's not. But yeah, Ovi was always my favorite. I remember I used to have like those big fat heads. I had one of those of him on my wall. So him, my family is Canadian, so my grandpa's a big Sidney Crosby guy. So we kind of always battled on those two guys.
It's funny that you mentioned Ovechkin because I saw you, just this weekend in the game, taking some one-timers from the face-off circle on the power play. Kind of Ovechkin's, forte over there. So you might be turning into him, I think.
Trying my best, but he's a one-of-a-kind player, obviously, as we see with his goal-scoring ability.
Do you remember going to your first pro game?
I went to a bunch of Red Wings games when I was younger. Some of my friends, like their families had suites and stuff, so we would always go. I don't remember my first one. I don't know. Might have been the Vipers, actually. I'm not
I want to
positive.
take you back to last year again. The Connecticut Ice Tournament, I've asked everybody that's come on this show, whether it's a coach, whether it's a staff member, or even the alumni, Jason Cotton, what that moment meant to them. Same question goes to you. Connecticut Ice, what was your favorite moment about being on the ice winning that championship?
I mean, just to see all the hard work that the boys put in pay off, and you could see that, in the celebration. Everyone was so happy for each other, happy for the team, happy for the university. It was just cool to see everyone, come together for the same common goal and be able to achieve it.
Are you hoping to replicate a pretty successful season again this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously we just started with our first two games. We got a long road ahead of us, but I think we got a great group that's, looking forward to it.
I wanted to ask you, going back to last season and the Connecticut Ice, out of all the teams that participated in that, between Yale, Quinnipiac, UConn, and Sacred Heart was kind of left as an outlier. And a lot of the media, wrote off Sacred Heart in that tournament. You guys came in there, and I don't want to say shocked the world because we all know, everybody that's around the team knows how talented that team was and how talented the team still is. So did that, feel pretty special that you guys beat Quinnipiac and Yale?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think we all kind of got a sense of that from Cotton's post-game interview that, people doubted us a little bit, but we're here. Like you said, watch out for us. So
Talk about some of the younger guys on the team real quick. How are they playing an important part this year?
yeah, obviously it was different. We had, a lot more practice, which I think helped some of the younger guys. It gave them a little more time to adapt. But, I mean, we have a good group of freshmen coming in. Got a lot of speed, a lot of skill. Obviously, Anderson and Koobs on the back end were both great for us this weekend, I thought. Jaworski and Gallagher were both in. Doolin didn't get in, and Tomeo didn't, but they both look good in practice. So once they get their opportunity, I'm confident that they'll capitalize on it.
You have a couple of transfers on your team from pretty top-end hockey colleges. One of them, I believe, played at Clarkson, Adam Tisdale.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like playing with guys that have played over in, big-name hockey colleges and then come here?
Well, we have Tizzy and then we have Emil as well. They're both pretty kind of similar players. They're both kind of skilled guys who like to move the puck around, but they're both very good players. And I got the chance to play with Emil this weekend, actually. He's very skilled, typical Euro. He's got great hands, a lot of skill in him. So, both those players are really good for us. I think they can help us a lot this year.
I'm all good on questions, Will.
I want to talk about briefly before we let you go about the upcoming series next week at Quinnipiac. You guys play Monday and Tuesday there. This is going to be a rematch. Last time you guys faced them, you beat them in the Connecticut Ice Tournament Championship game. What are you looking forward to about the weekend series against Quinnipiac?
Just looking forward to getting back out there. Obviously, Sunday was not the game that we wanted or the outcome, and so we get a chance to go back out and prove ourselves against a team who probably wants to prove themselves against us because of our last matchup. So I think all the boys are excited. You know, we had a good practice today, a little battle day. So I think everyone's excited, trying to get some more wins on the board.
Well, Marcel, we appreciate you coming on the podcast, and we wish you the best of luck throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, coming off a 1-1 on the weekend, his confidence is high about the rest of the season still.
Yeah, the rest of the season moving forward is going to be, very critical for Sacred Heart and just playing hockey games. And although the COVID-19 pandemic is something that none of us can control, and, selfishly we all want to play, but if it has to come to players' health and safety, that's something we have to understand. But what I liked the most about his answers was being finally back on the ice, being around the team again, which is something that not a lot of teams can say that they have done over the past couple of 8 months, close to a year. So here they are coming against a historic season where they've been ranked 3 times last season. They won against Quinnipiac and Yale in the Connecticut Ice tournament. And now here they are again facing Quinnipiac for next week. That's kind of a nice way to transition into the season a little bit.
Yeah, and I think one of the first and probably one of the biggest steps to getting back to the success we had last season is doing well against Quinnipiac, ultimately beating Quinnipiac, hopefully going 2-0 on the weekend. That'd be a huge step for them.
Yeah, it sure will, because Quinnipiac today, just yesterday was ranked number 11 on the USCHO program, and they were also ranked last year during the Connecticut Ice, and Sacred Heart, of course, won that. So Sacred Heart will compete this weekend, and it'll be very fun to watch.
Absolutely. We have all the tools. We just got to put them together.
Well, on behalf of Will Pesic and Jack Oven and the entire Sacred Heart hockey staff and team, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week.
Go Pio. Stay safe. We'll see you next week.